Welcome everyone to the Lizard Lair Sideshow. Today's presentation will be a live interactive voting session where you, the audience, will have an opportunity to vote on the product roadmap for FME. My name is Megan Taylor, and I'm a member of the product marketing team here at SAFE, and I'm going to be your poll host today, and I will be joined by our team of product managers. Here at SAFE Software, we love to collect feedback from our customers, and we love to find ways to use it, especially when building out our product roadmap. As you can see in 2020, 17 features were introduced in FME, or 17 features that we introduced in FME were voted in by our customers using the ideas forum. And we want to make sure that we are continuing to do this in our upcoming releases. Now, today's presentation is going to be a great opportunity for you to get your voice heard by our team of product managers and help decide the future of the product. So what is the Lizard Lair Sideshow? Well, our team want to try and create a similar presentation to the style of Shark Tank, where ideas are pitched to a panel and you, the audience, are going to vote on that. And we also will be sharing a code that you can use and access through your phone, or you can use the desktop product as well. All right, so today we will have 6 of our product managers from SAFE Software who are representing different areas of the platform, including FME Desktop, FME Mobile, FME Server, and FME Cloud. And each of them will be sharing ideas or posing a series of questions to you, the audience, to collect your insights or your opinions or thoughts. Now, these insights will help us craft our roadmap, and they will be used in future development. So how can you cast your votes? There are 2 ways to do it. You can either use the panel on the right side of your screen, or you can bring out your phone and you can scan this QR code to access the poll as well. Now, it should be noted that we will be going through questions quite quickly. There will be about a question per slide, so get your votes in and don't delay. And by the end of this, we will be sharing our final results on the FME community. Now, while everyone's getting up their phones or getting live, we will be starting with a quick poll asking where everyone is tuning in from. So that is active now, and if you'd like, you can type in and share where in the world you're joining us from. Great, we have, oh wow. Well, this is excellent. Love to see that that's working. So for today, you will be sharing your results. We will be collecting these. And like I mentioned before, we will be sharing a link out to the FME community where you can find those afterwards. But if you do want to touch base with the product managers and dive into conversations at a deeper level, or you'd like to have maybe a further discussion, you're more than welcome to book a meeting with any of the product managers that you see on the presentation today. And that can be done by booking a meeting on the left side of your panel. Excellent. Well, I'm going to be closing down the poll here. As you can see, there's people joining us from all over the world today, and we're excited to have everyone here. And I'll be passing it over to Annabelle, who will be kicking off our first set of questions.
So hello, everyone, coming in from a variety of places around the world. That's super exciting. And this is, I think, the last session of the day on the main stage. So I'll introduce myself briefly. My name's Annabelle Glass. I am a product manager on the desktop authoring team. As I say in the little tagline there, you all love Workbench and Data Inspector, right? Should be easy to sell some ideas, I think, to this crowd. So next slide, please. The first idea I would like to pitch is imagine your ideal start page in FME. What does it show you? What I'm hoping to do is to ask you to rank the following choices with the most important at the top. This is something you've probably seen if you've ever opened FME Workbench, and first impressions are absolutely everything. So if we're thinking about redesigning the start page, here are some core areas that throughout the survey and over the years we've identified have been of interest to people. So favorite workspaces, recent workspaces, training and academy content, community content, recently used data sets, and a workspace template gallery. Some of these things are things that we probably want to improve upon, but some of these, as you may have noticed, are totally brand new ideas. So I'll let you guys kind of move those things around and see where we're at. This is a kind of question too that I think is totally open for engagement after the fact, because clearly recent workspaces that could encompass a lot of different kinds of enhancements there. So I know that, for example, one thing that people have asked for is more control over how many are shown or how long the path is that we display on the page. So give that a little bit. Megan's in control here, so yes. I'll let her give a little countdown when the poll's about to close.
Yeah, I'll close it here in 5 seconds. I think we do have a definitive winner of recent workspaces at the top.
I have a
And
sneaking suspicion what people are kind of probably pointing at when they're talking about recent workspaces. So please do reach out to me because there are some aspects about showing recent workspaces we'd like to dive into a little bit more.
Excellent. And I'll close that down now. Perfect.
All right. So the second idea I was hoping to pitch, let me set the stage. You often don't know the quality of your data until after you've probably test filtered, string searched, or attribute validated a few times. Caching makes this a little bit easier today, but maybe we could do a bit better. What if we could offer data validation, quality control, and more upfront knowledge about your data as you author without needing to iteratively debug using transformers? The idea here is being able to profile your data, showing things like min and max values, the count of unique values, histogram of values, and really the world's your oyster here, populated from the cache and shown in visual preview. This would benefit any workspace author concerned with data quality control who wants to better understand what they're working with before they dive in. In the slide there, you see kind of a quick mock-up that we have a UI designer, Ali, who has been with us, I think, for about 8 months. And so he's been super helpful in kind of bringing hope to, or what does he say? Making hope visible by making these quick mock-ups. So this isn't probably what you would actually see, just an idea. So we'll let that filter through. It looks like people would find this quite useful. That's exciting. It's actually pretty definitive here.
Yeah, we'll close it down in about 5 seconds. Get your votes in.
It's kind of fun to watch the live results come in. It's like, I feel like I'm watching, I don't know, like a horse race or something. It's lovely.
Yeah. All right, we're going to close that down now. Thank you, everyone.
All right. So my final idea, this is a bit more open-ended. And obviously, I don't want to ignore Data Inspector. It's a very core part of our offering on the Workbench and authoring side. And so we're zooming a little bit out to ask about more general areas of improvement for the Data Inspector. What we would love to know is which of these following core areas we should maybe be looking at a bit more closely in terms of improvements. So please pick your number one choice. There's a lot to unpack in each of these categories, so we'd love to hear more specifics around your needs. And again, please feel free to book a time with myself or through the doctor's office to discuss any of these areas. Anything goes. Ooh, filtering and sorting coming out hard out of the gate. This is actually very interesting. Very helpful, actually.
Yeah. And we'll close this down in about 5 seconds. Get in your last votes. And I think we have a clear winner. Congratulations, yes. Filter and sorting.
Yay. Yeah, like I said, tons to unpack there. So we're going to want to sort of identify what key areas in filtering and sorting we should be looking at. So I've taken up my time. Thanks for participating and engaging with the questions I had for you. And I will now pass the torch on, I believe, to Jenna, who is PM on the engine side.
Hello there, everyone. Really great seeing the polls and participation come in here. It's super fun to watch on this side. And so I hope you keep engaging in the same way. My name is Jenna Lyons. I'm a product manager on the CMD team, which is one of the many teams at SAFE that works on transformers and formats. So you'll see the following questions are all around transformers and formats and like what you can do within Fme. So starting off, I just have a number of different items kind of in the CAD BIM area. I've kind of grouped these to get a bit of an idea of a whole bunch of different new formats that Fme could add and compete them against each other. So looking at this list, if you're interested in CAD and BIM, I would love for you to select up to 2 of these formats that you'd like to see Fme support. And if you're finding that you don't care about these, I have an option for that too. And if it's something else that's not on this list, I have an open-ended question coming up, a little spoiler here, where we'll collect that information.
Excellent. We'll leave that open for about 5 more seconds here.
I was curious what split of the audience would be interested in this, and about like 60% of you are not CAD BIM. That's pretty cool.
Awesome. All right, we'll close that down now. Thank you, everyone.
So the next
what was
slide
most
here.
popular?
I think it was Revit writing.
Revit writing, and the other group wasn't a CAD BIM group.
I was going to go for rhinoceros based on the icon.
Yeah, we'll post the results afterwards so you guys can take a look at the final score. So now we're moving on to the same kind of question, just looking at different database formats. So obviously we support a number of different ones already. One of these is just adding writing, but if you have anything on this list that you desperately like to see within FME, we want to hear about it. And if you don't, again, we have an option for that, or if it's something else you're looking for, please let us know too, either now or come talk to me later.
All right, we'll leave it open for a couple more seconds here. It's changing quite significantly.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, and we'll close this down in just a few moments. Get your last votes in. Yeah. Excellent. Looks like Azure is the winner. And I think we'll get some interesting results in the next question.
So moving on to the next slide, this is the time you've been waiting for because I've kept this very close until this point. So if you're looking for any format to be added to FME, this is an open-ended question. So if you had to pick one thing to add in terms of supporting a new format, what would your top pick be? You're only allowed one, and just type it out. This is a written answer one, kind of like the first question of where in the world are you tuning in from?
Vaughn's mind reader. That's a good one.
The fun one's coming in here. Nice. Yeah, I'll have to go through this list and see kind of what similarities and things are in here. Obviously, some of these are probably on the ideas page too, so I'd encourage you to head over there and add a vote or a comment. That'll kind of help us get a little bit more information on the use case that you're looking for. Some good laughs in here too. I'll have to definitely read this later.
We'll have to share our top picks in the community afterwards as well.
Yeah.
All right. I'll give everyone a few more moments here just to complete their answers.
Looks
Right,
pretty
excellent.
good.
Yeah, we'll close it down. Yep. Thank you, everyone.
And obviously, this whole time we've been talking about adding new things. However, maintaining what we have is super important to us too. So if there is a format that you're working with where you're finding it's not up to meeting your own needs right now, let us know what that is. This question asks you to choose one format to improve, and that could be any aspect of improvement, whether it doesn't have the right, I guess, capabilities for changing or editing or whatever you think. It's something on your mind or like this could be a bit better. Of course, with this one, because it's very open-ended, if you have specific feedback, I don't have a place for it, unfortunately, in this kind of polling system, but I would definitely encourage you to reach out to give us the details about what specifically about this format isn't meeting your needs, because that would really help us too.
Excellent. I'll close that down in just a moment. Let the last few trickle in. All right.
Awesome. So promise the transformer side of this. That was all of my format questions. So this is kind of a general list of improvements similar to Annabelle's question. Obviously, there's a lot we can do with transformers overall. So this just asks you to rank the following general improvements to FME transformers. We're going to apply them across the board with your most important one at the top.
This is a horse race. We have speed of transformers kind of really taking the front right now.
Anyone's game right now, I think.
Yeah, it's like a marble run. We just don't know.
Help doc is neck and neck with speed, just edging it out. So
I'll give it a few more minutes or a few more moments here.
Ooh, Doc pulling away.
yep.
Oh yeah.
Just slightly.
A commanding back end sprint there.
On the final stretch, yep.
We still got quite a few answers coming in, so I'll give it a couple more seconds here.
The participation is fantastic. Thank you, everyone. Keep it up.
Yep.
All right, and I'll close in about 5 seconds here. Excellent. Thank you, everyone. And Doc's pulled out on top.
Close finish. So moving on to the next question here. Same thing as before, except for asking it about format, or instead of formats, I'm asking about transformers. So if you had to pick one transformer that you'd like to see improved within FME, what would it be? And first instinct, first response. I know it's hard to pick one, but let us know. And again, if you have details on this, talk to us or chat it out to us, ask some questions and follow up. That'd be really great.
A tongue-in-cheek response talking about Transformers as in the toy, or I guess character, saying Bumblebee, he's too yellow. So
I didn't make
Missed
the connection.
opportunity.
it took me a while to figure that one out too, and then I remembered. I only saw the original Michael Bay version of Transformers, so the memory's hazy.
We've still got lots of coming in, so I'll give it a few more moments here. See lots of themes in here.
Yep.
Much
Good
to
information.
consider.
All right, I'll give it about 5 more seconds. Get your final answers in.
Someone cheated and said data inspector. If you said inspector transformer, I would have said you're not cheating, but you put a winky face, so I think you know what you were doing.
All right, close that down.
Nice. Okay, and this is my last question before I hand it off. So looking kind of generally across the board, this is a very high level question, I understand that, but if you would like to see more support, this would be in formats and transformers kind of together. If you're kind of do a bulk focus in one of these areas, what would you like to see more of in FME in any one of these categories? And if it is something else, we have a little link there. We'll be sharing it again at the end. Again, reach out to us and let us know. Pretty good split on this one too.
Mm-hmm.
But interestingly, there is a leader in the space, which I find intriguing. Yeah. So business intelligence and reporting is actually kind of pulling away.
All right, I'll close it down in about 5 seconds. Excellent. And
in closing, yeah, there's that was a different win. We did not saw coming in there, but it's a very strong win. So I'll pass it off to Lena now. But again, like Annabelle said, feel free to book the time to talk more about any of these topics. Thanks for your participation.
Hi, my name is Lena, and I'm product manager with working with FME mobile team. We are working on 2 mobile applications, FME AR and FME Data Express. And as everything is very kind of fluid and fast changing in mobile world, I will have a lot of ideas to pitch today. Could you please go to the next slide? Thank you. So the first application is FMER. FMER allows you to overlay digital content onto real world around you and basically experience your 3D data. I was very happy to see the request to improve FMER format in one of the previous slides. So this is what we are actually doing. Right now, the FMER models are store the geometries in OBJ format, and we are switching to USDZ for iOS devices and GLTF for Android devices. To make sure we better understand your needs and requirements, please answer the question about what level of interest you have in FMER and what platform you're working with, whether it's an iOS or Android devices. By switching to USDZ and GLTF-based models, we will greatly improve model rendering. We will start supporting physically based rendering. We will allow you to use third-party models as part of your 3D data. We will instantly expand AR functionality by, for example, bringing animation into your 3D models.
Got lots of responses. Very close ties here.
Oh, and I'm very happy to see, would like to learn more. I would love to share more. So if you have any particular questions, please schedule a meeting, or you can always find us on community and follow up with the questions.
Excellent. I'll close this down in just a moment here. Give it a few more seconds. It looks like we have a lot of new people to FMER, Lena, which looks great. So I'll close it down now.
Yeah. And I know some questions will be really hard to relate, but just imagine using the application. Please consider using it for your scenarios and for your projects. So can we please go to the next slide? Great. The next idea I'm pitching today is attribute support. Neither OBJ nor USDZ nor GLTF natively support attributes. So it's something extra we are able to add to your models. And as many of us come from GIS world, we cannot imagine 3D data without attributes. It's just a picture. So we are considering different ways of presenting attributes in AR models. First of all, we think you might want to retrieve attributes by selecting a feature in your AR model somehow, maybe by tapping on it or pointing at it. And maybe you don't always need the full set of attributes. Maybe you have some kind of key attributes that you would want an easier access to. This is why we are considering two different options. One is quick info that displays a limited set of attributes for the selected feature, basically on request. The other one is feature info, which is the full set of attributes you wrote into your FMER model. We also think that probably some attributes need to be displayed as labels in your model. Something, a very limited number of labels, but maybe it's a street name. Maybe it's a tree species or something like that, that you want to see at any time in your model. Please cast your vote or rank attribute support option. What way of presenting or retrieving attributes in AR model is the most important, seems to be the most convenient to you?
Mm-hmm. We've got lots of votes. Looks like quick info is the winner here, but I'll close this down in just a moment. Excellent. Perfect.
Okay, we can go to the next slide. Okay, and this is something for the future. It's not happening tomorrow, but maybe the day after tomorrow. We are considering adding actions to the models. What is an action? Action is basically a call to run another FME workspace. You might want to update your attributes in your FMER model and submit the changes. Maybe you want to regenerate the model and reload it. Maybe you want to trigger an automation on FME server. This can happen. The way to access the action or trigger the action, it can be maybe tapping a button. Maybe you are approaching the boundary of the model, and this is a trigger to regenerate a next model and load the next model, so that you always are surrounded with your data and you never get outside of the model. Please rank your interest in using actions in AR models.
Yeah, we've got lots of responses and it's quite distributed across the board, which is awesome. So I'll close this down in just a moment here. Last couple are trickling in. Perfect. Lots of responses there. Awesome.
Collaboration. This is also something for the future, and I think it will be related to actionable models somehow. Collaboration allows multiple users to collaborate by interacting with the same AR model. It doesn't matter where they are. It doesn't matter what devices they use. They can work together. This is the concept that actually became very familiar to many of us this past year, but not in AR world yet. Please tell us, how interested are you in using collaboration in FMER?
The votes again are very distributed across all the areas. So I'll close this down in just a moment.
And the truth is, if you think collaboration is a good idea, I would really love to hear from you. I would really be interested to learn more about scenarios you're considering.
Excellent. And I'm going to close that down now. Thank you, everyone.
And the last one, this idea is related to FME Data Express, the app that allows you to run your workspace from a mobile device, your phone or tablet. There is a new type of scanners on iPad 2020 Pro and iPhone 12 Pro. It's a LiDAR scanner. LiDAR scanner uses laser to scan environment to judge the depth and distance. It can also produce point clouds by scanning that environment. There are two options. We can either get the raw point clouds which is a nice visual representation of the environment around you, or we can convert it into true 3D objects into meshes. By doing that, we will be able to measure the objects, manipulate them as any 3D objects. Could you please tell us what LiDAR scanner output sounds more promising to you, whether the point clouds would be enough or you would rather prefer to go with meshes?
It looks like everyone's excited about both. And we got lots of responses while you're speaking there, Lena. So
great.
I'll let the last few trickle in here and then I'll close it down. And I'll close it down now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Rylan Maschak, and I am one of the product managers for FME Server. So the next few ideas that myself, Nathan, and Stuart are going to present have a little FME Server flavor to them and some infrastructure as well. So in these questions here, we're looking for your rating scale. The first one that I'm going to introduce is presets for triggers and actions. Now, this is one of those ideas that we might have seen already in the FME community. But for those of you who aren't familiar with this idea, let us know how important this would be. So it's the ability to configure the triggers or actions in automations with a preset configuration. So if you've authored workspaces in FME Workbench, which I hope everyone has done, you know how you can set the presets for each transformer. It's a similar idea, but operating on that trigger or action level. So giving you one place to manage configuration and credentials, similar to how we have web or database connections available for FME Server, and perhaps also the ability to share out these configurations with other colleagues who have access to FME Server as well. Unsurprisingly, I think, there is a skew towards the 4 and 5 for this one. I personally would really like to see this myself. It's great to see that there is some interest from the community here. And I would encourage you, if there's anything specific that you would want to make sure is covered by this sort of feature introduction, then please get in touch with me. Let us know what part of it would be the most important for you.
Excellent. We've got lots of responses, so I'm going to close it down in just a few seconds here, but this seems like a game changer, Rylan. Excellent. And I'll close that down now. Thank you, everyone.
So the second idea that I would like to introduce is the ability to create web connections at runtime. So I think that the best way to set the stage for this one is picture yourself as an end user of an FME server app. So maybe you have an author who's created this workflow that perhaps takes some input and eventually pushes it up to like an Amazon or S3 account. Now, you don't want to have to hard code or share your own credentials to Amazon or Google, and perhaps you want to give that user the ability to drop it in their own personal space. So on the FME server app, you might imagine that at runtime, the user can follow a OAuth workflow, authenticate with Google Drive, and allow FME to write files directly to their own space. Again, this is an idea I believe that's picked from the FME community, so look for it out there. But if there's any nuances that you might feel would be ignored, or if you're really interested in being a member who would be given the opportunity to test or something like that, reach out to me.
Perfect. I'll give this just a few more moments to get the last votes in.
Yeah, I didn't remember the score for the other one, but I think these are very close.
Yeah, both popular. And I'll be closing that down now.
All right, thank you so much, everyone, for your votes. There are a couple more features to come here, so get ready on your rating skills. I'll pass it over to Nathan.
Awesome, thanks, Rylan. Yeah, so hi, everyone. I'm Nathan Hildebrand, and I'm also a product manager for FME Server alongside Rylan. My portfolio or area of focus is a little bit skewed towards FME Server features for authoring and enterprise automation. And I've got a couple of ideas for you here to rate on. First off, the idea here is a new type of automations trigger that polls a web service on an interval, allowing downstream actions to run only when there's really new data available. Think of it a bit like a reverse of a webhook trigger, or maybe a mashup of a schedule and an HTTP request, but with a bit more flexibility. What's the value behind this idea? Well, this new trigger would eliminate the need to schedule a workspace to do this using something like an HTTP caller inside to poll the web service. So this could allow this pattern to be set up entirely in automations for higher level control. So the workspace really just processes the data when it's ready. Just another tool in the automation arsenal for enterprise integrations. And really think anyone who uses FME server automations would benefit from this, especially folks who use FME server as an integration point between web services. That's about it. So the polls are open, and share with us what your thoughts are on a new automations poll trigger. Seems like there's quite a bit of interest in this, which is good because this is one that we weren't really sure, kind of just pulled out and weren't sure, what the interest would be. So this is cool to see.
Excellent. I'll give it a few more seconds here. The last vote's in.
If you've got, use cases around this type of trigger as well, we'd definitely love to hear those. They'll help us kind of define what should be built for this.
Excellent. I've just closed that down.
Great. The next idea is FME server dashboard improvements. So this is about the ability to monitor the health and load of FME server with a new and improved set of dashboards and data visualizations based on measured job statistics. So job statistics are pretty new in FME server. They expose metrics like CPU time and CPU % load. So these dashboards would leverage those metrics and translate them into a visual dashboard, kind of like what you see on the slide here. The value behind this would be really opening up a world of intuitive visualizations about your FME server, allowing users to make data-driven decisions when running jobs, creating automations, or managing deployment. Admins would really benefit from this because it would allow them to better understand the status and health of their instance. Cool, looks like we've got a bit of a different range on this slide, 1 to
Yeah.
10.
Does 6 mean 6 and above? Is that everyone wants it?
It looks like 10 is really winning out on this anyway, so I'll assume people got the scale.
I'll let the last few roll in here.
Nice. This is something that's a little bit more on our radar, but we wanted to gauge, what users really thought about this. And it looks like 8 is rising strangely, but 10 is clearly a yes, please for this one.
Perfect. And I'll close that down now.
Awesome. Thanks. So that's it from me. And again, reach out to me if you have any extra feedback or questions on any of these ideas. And I'll pass it over to Stuart now.
Great, thanks, Nathan. So yeah, my name's Stuart Harper. I oversee the cloud group at Safe Software. Today, we're going to stay on the FME server theme of things, though. So the first thing we're going to look at is distributed FME engines. So the idea behind this is, so if you're trying to deploy an FME server and you want to put the engines in a different network to the FME server core. So the best example is this diagram on the right. You might have your FME server core here on premises, and then you may want to put some engines up closer to your data in the Azure cloud or the Google cloud or AWS, wherever your data resides. And then the engines connect back securely over some kind of secure network like HTTPS or WebSocket or something like that. So the benefit of this is anybody who has data who's distributed across multiple environments, they only need to manage one FME server. So it basically simplifies the deployment. So the poll here, what I've actually got is just some questions around how you would like to distribute your FME server. So we've got hybrid, which is where the FME server core is on premises, and then you have engines up in the cloud at maybe Azure, maybe AWS. Multi-cloud, where you have the core in, say, Azure, but then you want engines in the other clouds. Or multi-region, which we run into from time to time, where you could be on premises or you could be in one cloud, like Azure, and you want to put your core in one geographic region, say North America, and you want to put your engines in other geographic regions, say Australasia or Europe. And so this functionality would kind of allow these types of architectures. So this one, is definitely not for everyone. It's a little bit on the advanced side. I just wanted to throw it out there. So it looks like, the hybrid deployment with the FME server core on premises with the engines distributed on different clouds is a clear winner here. So that's very interesting.
I'll let the last few trickle in. There's a couple more rolling in. Give it a few more seconds and then I'll close it down here.
Right.
Excellent. Closing that down now.
Yes, so the final idea here is enhanced debugging. So this is in FME server, and this is all about providing an interface to make it easier to debug issues on FME server. So this benefits anyone who runs complex deployments on FME server and who finds themselves looking through the FME server logs in the resources. So rather than you looking through these logs, maybe there'd be a UI that's, I know my UX skills here on the right aren't great, but you get the idea. It's kind of, maybe you can look by component, maybe you can filter, maybe you can tail the logs in real time, and kind of more like an advanced logging tool within FME server to help you debug. So let's see how that one does. It's great to have so many people still voting here. It's over 100 votes in on this one now. Yeah. This one is quite definitive. Over 75% have given this yes, please, or 5.
Awesome. I'll let the last few roll in here.
That lizard winking at me kind of freaks me out a little bit, but
Hard to know if what you're seeing is actually happening or if you imagined it, but it's been a long year.
Awesome. And I'm going to close that down now.
okay. So I think that's the end of things there. I mean, I'm speaking for myself here, but I'm sure everyone else agrees. I think that was really interesting, and it was great from our perspective. I really enjoyed that. So we did say, and yeah, as we said, here's the URL. If you visit the FME community, fme.ly/lizardlair, you'll be able to see, I don't know when we'll get this up, in the next couple of hours, I imagine, all of the results from these polls. And also you can engage us on there. We'll check that for the next week or so. I'll check in there, and so all the other product managers, and you can chat to us about anything that you've seen in the presentation today. Yeah, so that kind of brings us to the end of this presentation. After the live QA, make sure you head back to the FME World Fair map to see what rides and attractions you want to visit next. Remember, check out the agenda in the left of your toolbar there to see up and coming sessions. But yeah, I mean, from everyone here, thank you so much for joining the presentation. I think what we're going to do now is we're going to do some live Q&A, right? So has anyone got any good questions there they want to pull out?
Sorry, I'm just speed reading.
Yeah, scanning.
Scanning rapidly.
Yeah, there's been some great questions coming in throughout the whole talk. Lots around transformers and formats in Jenna's section.
Oh yeah, see, it looks like there's a comment here about global keys, for truly global keys that can be shared among automations. Yeah, thanks, Carl, for that comment. I agree there. I believe that was during the web connections one.
There's one here on when will FME AR improve on Android? Is there any work scheduled there, Lena, on that?
Oh, I actually missed that question. I was reading, also speed reading, and I didn't notice that one. We actually released a new release yesterday night. So it's not as advanced as iOS version just yet. It will be next release shortly, but you can get something new that is approaching the iOS functionality.
Great. Okay, well, unless anyone else got anything, remember you can connect with any of us by going and book a meeting in the World Fair app, and yeah, we encourage you all to do that. We'd love to chat to you. Yeah, unless anyone's got anything else, I think we'll wrap things up there and let you get off and enjoy the rest of your day.
Thanks everyone for attending.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks so much.
That's really helpful.
Bye-bye.